To be perfectly honest with you, in real life, I don't care about football at all. I watch one game a year, it's a Super Bowl, mainly because of the movie commercials, the commercials in general, hanging out with friends, and eating some good food. But I understand the passion for it, and I respect everybody in my life that loves football and gets into it because it's just a lot of hard work that goes into it. It's an intense sport, and it definitely shows. And sometimes it can be, well, the majority of the time, it can be really exciting, especially when I'm watching that one game at the Super Bowl. Anyways, so now when it comes to movies though that I'm really passionate about, we have a brand new football movie, and I'm a big sucker for sports films. I love to be inspired, whether they're talking about football or not. With this brand new film, it's about football, and it's called When the Game Stands Tall. And it stars Jesus himself, Jim Caviezel. It also stars Laura Dern, who plays his wife, Michael Chiklis, who plays, I believe he plays his assistant coach in this, and one of the fathers of the players is played by one of the greatest actors to have ever lived. I love him so much, Clancy Brown, and it was so awesome to find out that he actually was in this movie, because I didn't remember seeing him in the initial trailer that I saw months and months ago, I think back in April. And I was really worried about seeing this movie because of the trailer. I remember seeing the trailer and going, I think I've seen the whole entire film. Is that true? We'll find out. So this movie is about a team, a high school football team, who I guess had a really amazing winning streak and got up to 151 games before they actually lost a game, which is, I think, the highest winning streak in sports history, especially in high school. I think they're coming from Northern California, and it looks like it's an all-boys, like Christian church school or some kind, whatever. But I mean, that was all new to me, even though I'd seen a lot of the stuff in the trailer, and it looked like we got the plot points going on here and blah, 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 blah. But tragedy strikes in this team. They do lose. It's in the trailer, so there's really no surprise about that. But there's some other things that happen in the film that kind of shocked me when one of the players tragically loses his life. And I was hoping that that was actually part of the real story, because this movie is inspired by a true story, so what that means, it's true, but then they can make up whatever they want to go with that. Luckily, I remember in the credits, I was watching the credits and they were showing some stuff, and they showed footage from the funeral. I was like, okay, I'm glad that happened, because that was really the only emotional part that I had in this entire film. The rest of the film just seems like your typical, average, run-of-the-mill football sports movie. This movie really wants to be Friday Night Lights really, really bad, and it does not succeed at all. The acting is fine, but the characterizations of people, I just did not really care about them. I was never emotionally connected with them. And that's really sad, because there's really a lot of amazing people that are talented. I didn't care about all the kids. I think this movie just really puts a lot of information in here in a short period of time. Even though this movie is 2 hours, there's just so many characters that you really can't center on one of them and even care about them. Not even Jim Caviezel, who plays the coach. And he's got some issues. He smokes. He's suffering from something happened inside him. I can't remember. Again, this movie is quite forgettable as well, because I had no emotional connection to the story, and that's what's really sad. One thing that did surprise me about this movie is that I thought it would be more of a faith-based Christian kind of film, and that stuff is kind of in the background. But people that want to see this and are worried that they're going to be preached to, that really doesn't happen. It's in the background. It's part of their world. It's part of their community. But I never felt like I was getting a Sunday school lesson, and I really appreciated that aspect. But I felt like the rest of the movie just felt so bland and boring. At the same time, we're not really given a chance to just care about anybody. There's no emotional thread that is going through this entire film to get us to really give a damn about this entire story. I'm watching the stuff at the end with the credits and seeing that there's actual real footage. I couldn't help but feel like I would have rather seen a documentary about this story, even though I don't find this story to be that exciting for a movie. I mean, congratulations on having an amazing winning streak, but you're going to lose eventually, and that's about it. That's really the whole story, and how you deal with that is not that interesting. I would have rather seen a team. I'm more of like, I guess I more enjoy a story about underdogs and you get to care about them. They're struggling to get to the top, and you're wondering how you're going to, if they're going to achieve those goals. I mean, if you've seen Friday Night Lights, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. That was a great story about this team that was really struggling, and you wanted to see them really win it all. And it's intense, and the last, 20 minutes of that movie is so emotional and so exciting. I didn't have an idea. I had no idea where it was going, and it just shocked me. I recommend that you skip this film that I'm talking about right now. When the Game Stands Tall. You can skip this film. This has been done before. It really does not need to be seen. And if you're really interested in the story, go online, read about the real people. Maybe there's a documentary. If there is, let me know. I'd rather see that. Skip this movie. Watch any other football movie. Any other football movie. There's tons of them that are out there. I recommend Friday Night Lights from 2004. It's one of the best movies about a true football team. I love that film. It's emotional. It's intense. It's realistic. It really gets you in there. None of this happens in When the Game Stands Tall. This is just by the numbers, cookie cutter storytelling. The script is the biggest disappointment about this movie. I think the acting is fine. It's okay, even though it is full of cliches and all that stuff that is easy to criticize about. But you don't care about the characters, and it's mainly because of the really lame screenplay. And I think the screenplay is the weakest aspect of the movie. Some of the scenes of football is okay. It's exciting at times, but it's kind of boring to see as well. I didn't ever felt like I was in the action. You want a movie where you feel like you're in the football action? Watch Friday Night Lights, but then there's any given Sunday. I mean, any given Sunday, I feel like I'm right in there with those guys, those big guys, and feel like I'm going to get killed. and that's what you want when you see a football movie. You want to feel like you're in the action, and I felt like I was not a part of this story at all. I can't recommend this movie. It's too bad because it does have an impressive cast, and it does have, there's a potential for a nice story, and I was really emotional. The only emotional part I was when there was tragedy that happens to one of the team members, and that happened in real life, so I'm glad that that's part of the true story. I don't know what else is true in this film, but overall, I can't recommend this movie. Watch anything else, any kind of sports movie instead of this film. Well, any kind of football movie. I'll just say any kind of football movie. There's tons of them out there. Check them out, but you can skip When the Game Stands Tall. It's pretty forgettable and unimportant. And for that, I'm going to give the film just 2 stars. That's it out of 4. Just 2 stars out of 4. That's it. There you go. I'm MovieManCHAD. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. And please go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePile.com, and if you enjoyed this movie review, please click right here, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful life. And I'll see you soon on my next movie review.